The last thing I remembered before the crash was laughing. We were arguing about something small. Music, I think. He was driving. I was teasing him. The road was wet. The sky too dark for that hour. And then, nothing. When I woke up, I knew my name. I knew my parents. I knew my childhood home, my favorite book, the scar on my knee from when I was 10. But I didn't know him. He was standing beside my hospital bed when I opened my eyes, holding my hand like it belonged there. His eyes were red, tired, hopeful. "Hey," he said softly, like he'd been waiting years to say it. I smiled politely. "Hi, I'm sorry. Do I know you?" The way his face fell will forever haunt me. The doctors explained it later. Selective memory loss. Rare, but possible. I hadn't lost my memories of life. I'd lost a person. Him. They said we were dating. Had been for 2 years. Everyone said it so casually, like it wasn't tearing something out of his chest every time he heard it. He tried at first. God, he tried. He brought flowers I didn't remember liking, told stories I couldn't place myself in, looked at me like if he stared hard enough, I'd remember. But I didn't. And loving someone who looks at you like home while you feel nothing but confusion, that kind of guilt is unbearable. So I left. I told everyone I needed time to heal. I didn't say the real reason, that staying meant watching a man grieve someone who was still alive. I moved away for a year. New city, new routine, a life with a quiet, aching gap I couldn't explain. When I returned, things felt different, familiar but tilted. The neighborhood looked the same. Our house, my house, stood just as I left it, but people looked at me differently, softer, careful. And then I saw him. He had rented an apartment just 2 buildings away. I noticed him the way you notice a stranger who somehow feels important. He was taller than I remembered, though I didn't know why I thought that. His presence tugged at something deep in my chest, something unspoken. He didn't rush me. That was the strangest part. He greeted me like someone new, a nod, a smile, polite distance, as if he hadn't once known every version of me. Slowly, we began again. Morning hellos, accidental meetings, shared silences that felt too comfortable for people who barely knew each other. People watched us. At the cafe, conversations would pause when we walked in together. My best friend would smile sadly when our hands brushed. Neighbors exchanged looks they thought I didn't notice, knowing glances, full of history I wasn't part of. "Why does everyone look at us like that?" I asked him once. He shrugged gently. "Maybe they think we'd make a good story." And somehow, we did. He knew my habits before I mentioned them, handed me tea exactly how I liked it, stepped in front of me when crossing the street without thinking. Once, I laughed at a joke and he froze, eyes shining, like he'd heard a ghost. "Sorry," he said quickly. "You just sound the same." That night, I dreamed of him, not as a stranger, but as someone I loved fiercely, someone I argued with, laughed with, trusted with my life. The next morning, the truth came out, the first memory flash. We were standing on a crosswalk when a car sped past too fast. He reached out and pulled me back without thinking. The world tilted. For half a second, I saw us laughing in the rain, his hand in mine, my voice saying his name like it belonged there. I gasped. "Are you okay?" he asked, concern flooding his face. I nodded, but my heart was racing. After that, the flashes came more often. When he teased me, I remembered arguing in the kitchen. When he tucked my hair behind my ear, I saw us dancing in the living room. When he called my name softly, I remembered whispering it in the dark. Every time he did something that once belonged to us, my mind answered back. He noticed too. "You do that thing again," he said once, smiling carefully. "What look?" "Like you're almost home." One evening, we sat together in silence, the sky burning orange between buildings. He laughed at something small, and suddenly I remembered the sound of that laugh echoing inside my chest. The final memory didn't come with pain. It came with peace. I remembered loving him, choosing him, building a future that didn't scare me because he was in it. I turned to him, tears streaming freely. I remember, I whispered. He didn't celebrate, didn't rush me. He just pulled me into his arms like he had been waiting, patiently, faithfully, for my memory to catch up to my heart. Losing him once had been an accident. Finding him again was a choice, and that's how our love became